channel. I'm Heather Briggs of My Soul Quilty Life, and today I have a fun bonus video for those of you that are participating in the Flower Stand Block of the Month. Now, if you haven't opened up your flower pack, month 2 flower pack, you probably don't know, but there is a bonus pattern for you this month. I am so excited to bring you this pattern. It is going to use up all your scraps that you have left over after you finish the block of the month, so I'm so excited for you to see it. Today I'm going to be showing you tutorials on the 2 blocks that make up this quilt, and I'm so excited. Okay, so if you're following along with this tutorial, go ahead and open up your month 2 block of the month and pull out your bonus pattern card. Scan the QR code on the back of this card and it'll take you to My Soul Quilty Life to download your free pattern. Now, this is only for if you're participating in the Flower Stand block of the month. This is a fun bonus pattern for you. If you are not participating in the Flower Stand block of the month, no worries. Head on over to mysoulquiltylife.com and pick up the low price PDF so you can make this too. Now, when I originally thought of this block of the month, I knew that you would have a little bit of extra fabric, so I thought, what more than adding a couple bonus patterns? There might be one in month 4. I'm not giving away any hints, but there might be. Just so that you can use all that extra fabric, or you can just use up the fabric you have in your stash. This month, we are making Together Tulips. This is a wall hanging small crib quilt. It finishes at 34 by 34, so it is perfect for those small projects that you want to get done. It is a perfect stash buster and a scrap buster. It's definitely scrap friendly. So after you finish the block of the month, don't forget to open up this pattern and don't forget to make this Together Tulips quilt using up all of your scraps. Okay, so I am ready to get started. What about you? I wanted to quickly show you the blocks. Now, you might recognize this block. These are the little tulips we just made. We just made in block 4. I thought it'd be so cute to use these tulips to make this adorable Together Tulips quilt. So what you're doing is you're making 5 of these blocks right here. The little tulips, they're so cute. And we're making 4 of these patchwork blocks. So go ahead and open up your patterns and follow along with the tutorial. We will get started right now. Okay, so I've got a ton of stuff here on my table. I'm going to go through what everything is before we get started, but I just wanted to show you, so on the tutorial that just released for month 2, we made this adorable tulip block. So this was month 2, block 4. So I thought it would be a really fun idea because I know you're going to have a little bit of fabric left over after the block of the month is complete to throw in some fun bonus patterns. So for this bonus pattern, I thought I would take some of the cute little tulips from block 4 and turn them into a pattern. So look in your month 2 flower pack and pull out that little card that has the QR code for this pattern. So this little card right here, this is for this free pattern. So go ahead, scan with your smartphone the QR code on the back of the card and go ahead and download this pattern. Now, my hope is that you wait till the end of the block of the month so you know if you have enough fabric or not. What I don't want you to do is start making it now and then use up the fabric that's supposed to be used for other blocks later on. So these are really just scrap buster patterns to use up the rest of the fabric. Now, I did include a little bit of overage because I know there are people that like to starch, and if you make any mistakes, I wanted to make sure that you would have been able to still be able to have all of the fabric you needed. So there is a little bit of excess. I apologize for that, but I just wanted to make sure you had enough. So if you ordered the full kit from a shop, after you finished, you should have almost a quarter to half of your fabric left. And if you ordered it per block, I'm not sure exactly how much you'll have left, but you should have enough left to complete this really cute pattern. So, or if you just want to make it in other fabrics, this is a perfect baby-sized crib quilt. It finishes at 34 by 34. It can even be a cute little wall hanging for spring. You can even make it bigger. These blocks, there's just 2 blocks. There's a tulip block and then a patchwork block, so you could keep adding onto it and keep going. But I just thought this would be so cute to include as the free bonus pattern for month 2. So I thought we would go ahead and get started. I'm going to show you how to make both of the blocks, and then I will let you put it together yourself. But but I just wanted to include a fun video. So here is our pattern, super cute. Go ahead and download that if you haven't already. If you are not in this Flower Stand Block of the Month and you still would like this cute little pattern, this will be a low priced PDF on my website. So head on over to mysewquiltylife.com to check that out. Again, it'll look super cute in many different fabrics. It's a great scrap buster. So I'm gonna put my tulip block up there, and I'm gonna go ahead and open my pattern, and I laid out all of the cutting instructions for you, but I'm gonna start on page 2. We're gonna make the tulip blocks, and I'm only gonna make one tulip block for you because since I already made tulip blocks in my last video, this is exactly the same. So I'm just going to make them according to this pattern because I did go ahead and break out the blocks into this pattern, so you don't have to flip back to your block of the month pattern, month 2 pattern to make this block. So here's what my pieces look like. I have them all cut out. I used a variety of scraps. Love all these colors. In the pattern it does say 8 or 10-inch squares, but that's just so you have a starting point. I wanted to do mine more scrappy. So that is what that looked like, and this is my border right here, and this is my binding right here. And then the second block is on a separate design board. That one's easy. That's just patchwork. So I'm going to go ahead and start really quick with making this tulip. I do use my cute little markers that you should have gotten in your first packet, so don't forget to cut those up and use those so you can stay organized. Okay, so on step 1, and this is step 1 in every single one of my patterns, it's drawing a diagonal line on the back of your fabrics. I'm not going to do that. I use diagonal seam tape from Cluck Cluck Sew, but I'm not going to waste any time showing you how to do that. It's pretty self-explanatory. So I'm going to go ahead and start with step 2. So for step 2, we need fabric K, fabric G, and fabric I. So I'm going to go ahead and pick my fabrics for fabric K. Now these are 2, you have to kind of choose if you're making your block one block at a time. You have to kind of choose which fabric you're going to be making and which for the tulips and what fabrics look good together. So I'm going to use this fabric, and I think I'm going to use this fabric as my big tulip and my little tulip. I think that'll look cute. And then for my big stem, I'm going to go ahead and pick those really quick since I have all my fabric here. So I need 2 of these for my big stem, and then I'm going to do this one for my little stem here. I think that'll be cute. Okay, now that I have that decided, whew, that could have been a disaster. I'm just going to go ahead and start. I'm going to put these to the side so I know that those are the ones I want. I'm going to go ahead and start with my step 2. So for step 2, all we're doing is adding an I and we're adding a G. So this is how it'll look. You're going to put 1 fabric I, the top left and top right. So top left and top right. And then after you have sewn that, we are going to add a G on the outside. Essentially this is making that tulip. So fabric G right here, like this. And you're going to sew on your diagonal line. You're going to press. So we're pressing on this one, we are pressing this towards fabric I and this towards fabric G. But on this one, we are pressing in towards fabric K and towards fabric G. That is so these can nest. I know if you already watched my video from the month 2 block 4, I went over that there as well. So after I do that, I'm just going to start combining some steps here because you've already seen me make this block. After I do that, I'm going to assemble those 2 together, nesting my seams right there so it creates that perfect point, and I'm going to press open. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I will be right back. Okay, I just finished up with step 3. So here are my 2 flower units. Now I'm going to move on to step 4. And for step 4, we're going to be using our fabric N and our fabric I and our fabric L. So L is the light green, so I think I wanted it like that. It's going to be hard to remember, but I think I wanted it like this. If I'm not mistaken. Here we go. Yes. Okay. Perfect. So we need our fabric N, fabric I, and we need fabric L in the other end. We need our, okay, so now that I got that, all right, we're good. There we go. So these two are the same in this one. So if you look in your pattern, you just need to make sure that you are putting your I squares. So this is in with I, in with I. You just want to make sure that you're putting them opposite. Now these are squares and these are not directional fabric, so you could just not worry about this, but when you do have directional fabric, you just got to be careful that you don't assemble that incorrectly. So I'm going to go ahead and assemble on those lines, or my imaginary lines, and then press out towards fabric I, and then we'll move on to step 5. Okay, I just finished up with step 4, so here we have these right here. Now I'm going to move on to step 5. So for step 5, we're going to focus on this little guy. So what we need is we need our M, we need a D, and an H. So let's see, 1 D and 1 H. So if you remember from last time, we're just assembling fabric H to our L unit, and assembling, after that we're assembling our M to that, and then D, and then after that we're going to assemble fabric B. Told you I'd be combining steps, so we're going to assemble fabric B. And you will just press towards fabric B, and after you have this completed, you're just going to press towards this stem unit. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll be right back. Okay, I just finished up with the short flower unit here. Now we are going to move on to step 7. So for step 7, we need our N units, we need our fabric O, we also need 2 fabric Ds, so 1 down here and 1 up here, and 2 fabric H's, 1 down here and 1 up here. So I'm going to go ahead and assemble that according to the instructions, and then I am going to go ahead and move on to step 8. And step 8 is just assembling this flower unit to the top of the tall stem unit. After that, we will move to step 9. Okay, so I just finished with the step 8. So step 8, we made the tall flower unit. So now I have a tall flower unit and a short flower unit, and they go like this. So the next step is to assemble these two together. For step 1, press open. Then we're going to be assembling fabric, 2 fabric F to the side, like this. And then we're going to be pressing towards fabric F, and then we're going to be putting 2 fabric E rectangles to the top and pressing towards fabric E. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I will be right back to move on to the next block. Okay, I just finished up with step 9, and we have completed our cute tulip block. Guys, this is so easy, and it comes together so quickly. Now you're gonna make 5 of these blocks. So if you're making the entire quilt, you're making 5, or you could add a cute border to this, turn it into a pillow, or a little doll quilt, or a wall hanging, whichever you prefer. But now that we've got the tulip block out of the way, that was the hardest block, we're gonna go ahead and go to the patchwork block on page 3. So you need your instructions, and on page 3, we're moving to the patchwork block. So this block is super simple. Like I just said, you're just sewing together a bunch of pieces. Not a bunch. You're essentially sewing a few pieces together, but you get to be scrappy. So what you need is you need to pick 9 of your print squares, and I just cut a ton out of my fabric, just a bunch of different ones. So let me go ahead and see about what colors. I need 9, so I want to make sure I have a good variety. Let's see, that one, that's a good one. Oh, we've got some tan, but we do need a yellow. So let's go in here and do this yellow. How many am I at? I'm only at 6. Okay, so 7. Let's see, 8. And what color? What color should I do? Let's do another yellow. So we'll do that yellow. Yeah, okay. So you're going to be making 4 of these blocks, but I'm only going to be making 1 for this demonstration. Now, we've got our 9 fabric J. We also need 4 fabric A and 4 fabric C. So here is fabric C, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 4 fabric A for this block. I went ahead and cut out the entire quilt so that I could just you know, chain piece and get going and not have to worry about stopping and cutting. So here we are. We are gonna start by assembling, let's say 5 squares. So you need to pick out 5 squares. So I'm gonna do this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. Why didn't y'all tell me I only had 8? I only had 8 up there. I need 9. Y'all were gonna let me fail. Okay, so here we are with the 9, with the 5, because you need 9, but we're doing 5 for step 1. So there's no need to draw any diagonal lines on the back of anything. So we're not doing any corner squares. All we're doing is essentially, here, I'm gonna put this guy in the middle, making a 9 patch. We're gonna make a 9 patch here. Super simple. This is back to basics here, guys, with the 9 patch. So we all know how to sew a 9 patch. So I'm gonna these three, and then assemble them all together. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and I will be right back. Okay, I just completed step 1. So here is my step 1. Right here, we just assembled this 9 patch with the 5 print squares, 4 regular background squares, and I positioned them differently so that they kind of look a little strappy. So next we're going to be moving on to step 2. So I'm going to set that aside, and for step 2 you need 2 fabric A's and 4 fabric G. We're going to be making 2 of these. So what we need to do is simple, just assemble. Let me see if I can get this up. Just assemble. This is your top and your bottom, so just assemble these like this. So if I look at it, I just want to make sure my placement is good. So if I look at it there, okay, that looks good. Let's see, I might move this peach since that was, let's see, since that was over here, the peaches kind of looked like they were meshing into each other. So I'm gonna go ahead and assemble these 2 squares to this fabric A, and I will be right back. Okay, I just finished step 2. Let's see if I lay it out correctly. Right here, nope, like this. Okay. Even though we've got 2 prints next to each other, I think they're different enough here that it won't bother me. So the next step we're gonna do, it looks a little wonky right now. The next step we're gonna do is assemble our fabric A, our final fabric A rectangles to the sides of our center unit. Then we're going to press towards fabric A. Then we're going to assemble our A units to the top and bottom, and then this block is done. Super simple, super easy, and I'm so excited to show you what it looks like. Okay, I'm going to do that, and I will be right back. Okay, here is that, although that's not right. Upside down here. Okay, there we go. Now I'm going to assemble the A units to these. Okay, I just finished the patchwork block, and here is what it looks like. Oh, I got some strings that stuck there. Just need to trim them up, take all those little loose threads. So here is our patchwork block. Now, what you're gonna do next, after you finish all 4 patchwork blocks, all 5 of your tulip blocks, you're gonna start putting them together, just like this. So, you have your 1 block and your 2 blocks. And in the first row, you're gonna have 2 tulips and 1 patchwork. And in the second row, you're gonna have 2 patchworks with 1 tulips. And then you're gonna sew all your rows together and add your borders. So here are the borders. And then once you do that, you can get it all quilted up beautifully and put some binding on. And here is the binding. So I hope you enjoyed this little quick tutorial showing you how to make this cute little together tulips. This again is the bonus pattern for month 2. So in month 2 and month 4, you will have a fun bonus pattern, and this is month 2. And if you're not participating in the Flower Stand Block of the Month, again, you can go to my website and purchase this low-priced PDF there. So I'm gonna go to the front camera and say bye-bye. Okay, I hope you enjoyed making these adorable blocks. I love them. There's nothing like, after a detailed project, making something to clean your palette. It's kind of like when you go to like Bath and Body Works or like a candle store and you have to smell the coffee beans to clean that palette, a simple project, something that goes together super fast, super quickly, is always perfect to do. So I just love this little quilt. Okay, so here's our little tulip blocks. And here is our patchwork block. So I hope that you enjoyed making this. I hope you find that this is a great scrap buster. Don't forget, wait till after you finish flower stand to see how much fabric you have left over. You might be able to make this bigger. Right now it is 34 by 34 inches. That's what it finishes as. But you could totally make it bigger by adding more patchwork and tulip blocks. You can make this all the way up to like the biggest size you want. So don't forget, wait till after the block of the month has finished just to make sure you have enough fabric in order to complete your block of the month. But don't forget, if you are not participating in the block of the month, you can pick this up as a low price PDF on my website at mysewquiltylife.com. Don't forget to share your progress. I have a special hashtag just for this quilt. It is hashtag #TogetherTulips. Quilt. So share on social media. I'll also post in the private Facebook group, My So Quilty Life Quilty Community, so we can see all of your Together Tulip quilts. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this video. I hope you enjoyed these tutorials and you learned a little something along the way. And I can't wait to see you for month 3 in just a couple weeks. Bye guys.